A lot of people are always asking me, how do you look at the weather? Well, we're going to look at the weather right now. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to go in and get an overall view of the fronts pressure systems. So we go to the weather2fly.com. We're going to hit in telecast. They seem to give a really nice version here. And since we're flying right around here, we've got a lot of activity going on. We got something, looks like something coming in here. Looks like a cold front has just passed the side here. It looks clear here, so that's a good start. So we've got the general picture here. It looks like a lot of stuff going on, so this will be a good example. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to all my special areas. So here we are at the sites that I look at on a daily basis. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to look at the basic NOAA. Okay, so what we have, this is, we can see it's Memorial Day here, Monday, isolated showers. Not the best, but only a 20-degree chance of showers. So we're going to look here, isolated showers after 11. This is good because I've got my first flight at 6:30 with a high near 67. Breezy with a west wind of 5 to 10, increasing in the afternoon. Okay, not the best. Okay, but let's see. We're going to go down here a little bit more. We're going to look at our radar since we do have some weather out there. We're going to do our composite loop. Okay, this ends up being fog right here. We don't see a lot of movement. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, so we've looked at our basic moisture. Now we're going to look at our predicted winds for this morning. Okay, this is showing us our predicted winds. Now this is not the best either. We're seeing 8, 7, 6. Okay, from 6 to 7, about 2, and from 7 to 8 is supposed to jump to 10 from the west. Okay, not good generally. Okay, so we're going to go back. So these are so we've looked at how it's doing overall generally. Now we're going to go back and we're going to look at some measured data. Okay, now here we have Slide Mountain winds. These are the winds at the top of Slide Mountain. And we go in here and we can see this is the red is the winds. These are the gusts, and the blue is the direction. So you can see how we have a west wind here. And here our values are 30 gusting to 40. And we can see here our average wind speed at 4:30 in the morning is 32 gusting to 40. Again, not the best situation. Now this is at altitude. So we're going to go back and now we're going to look at, let's look at Squaw Peak. This is at 9,000 feet instead of 10,000 feet. We're going to see what we've got going here. Okay, Squaw Peak, the last readings are, say, 5 to 15. Quite a bit less. It seems like Slide Mountain observations are a little bit higher. We can see how it has come down significantly over time, staying about level here, 5 to 15. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our winds aloft, our graphic. So now what we're mainly concerned with is winds. What are they going to be doing? Okay, typically what I do is we're going to go up, we're going to look at 9,000, because that's the top of the peaks. That's usually where I try and get to, and that tells what we're going to be doing. Now we can see how we have a lot of wind coming in here. It's coming in and it's almost splitting right here. This is where we are. Now we can see that in the brown here, this is where the wind at this altitude at 9,000 feet is say 0 to 15. And we can see how the light blue is 15 to 20, the dark blue is 20 to 30, and the white here is 30 to 40. And we can see how right now what they're predicting for the next hour is we're looking pretty good here. What's important here is what's it going to do? Is it going to get worse? So we're going to go to 1400 Zulu, which is 7 o'clock, which is what I'm planning on being in the air. And we're looking, okay, it looks like this mass of wind here is coming closer. Okay, not a good situation. Let's look at 1800, 11 o'clock. Okay, and we can see how that is going to get, it looks like it's going to get worse. Okay, and of course, time goes on. We suspect that's probably going to be getting worse here. Okay, not the best. Now let's just, out of curiosity, look at Tuesday at 1800, 11 o'clock. See if it's going to be any better then. Oh, we're still looking at tomorrow, 20 to 30, somewhat more manageable. But what I don't like is looking at our winds here for today, 1800, with this big mass coming in here, right here. So let's go look at some other thing. Now we got webcams. Let's look at our weather balloon readings. Okay. Well, it turns out this is too early for the reading, and so unfortunately this is yesterday's reading at 1700 Pacific Daylight Time, as you can see. So unfortunately we can't get our weather balloon readings, but it does show you the actual measured values here. That is measured from the balloon. We've also got this surface condition graphics. This is used by a lot of people, and this is where they predict the wind over the day, similar to what we saw that NOAA did. Here we can see 3, 10, 9. This is up here showing a nice gradual 7, 8, 9. Now this looks flyable right here. The other one did not. And we've got another one here. We're going to look at the U.S. AirNet. Now this is used by a lot of people. Very popular. Okay, and we can see here we've got a nice gradual increase here from 5 to 8 up to 11. So it looks like it might be flyable here up almost to 10 or 11 based on this prediction. Now we can start. We've got highway observations that I've hunted down and found out. We've got a local wind map. Now this is a very interesting wind map too. This shows you what the actual winds are. We're going to get rid of the temperature here since we don't necessarily need that. And here we're looking at all the different wind readings here around the area. Now these are actual winds. Okay, this is in Little Valley. This is where I fly right over 8, gusting to 18 here. It's showing the wind with the direction here, and these red ones are the gusts. Just another piece of information here. We can see how it's not too bad out here right now. And we can also go ahead and look at one last reading I usually look at before we get going. I need to put it on here. And we can actually look at what our wind's blowing here. Reno, 0 knots, so it's calm in Reno. We can see that right now it is calm in Carson City. We can see Truckee, how it is calm in Truckee. There is hope. South Tahoe, we can see how it's calm in South Tahoe. So right now we've got very little wind on the ground. So it's possible here we might be able to get away with a 6:30 flight, but it's gonna go bad fast. We can see that right now. So there's an overall, and here's where we're gonna be flying out of Carson City. Got a guy at 6:30. He's a CFI airplane, and he's just transitioning to trike. He's trying to do some of his final flights before he flies his trike from Carson here, where he's got it hangared, up to Truckee, where he'll be hangared, and he does most of his airplane instruction. So there we go. There's a weather analysis based on what we see today. And when we look up here, we go to the weather to fly. Some of your basic weather to try and develop your own sites for finding weather is we go to the National Weather Service here, and you can enter your location here, and this is one of the best for overall weather. Okay, and then we look at the aviationweather.gov. Of course, this has all the proper places here. Convection, yeah, turbulence. Now we'll look at turbulence here. This is, yeah, we can see how we get a lot of turbulence here right along the Sierras. We're right here. Doesn't look too bad. So right now, it doesn't really look that bad. We could probably get away with squeaking under the wind. We've got, of course, our winds and temperature aloft here, which we looked at, the prog charts, and the area forecasts. We can go in and let's go in and just real quick look at our TAFs and METARs. So we're going to type in KRNO since that's the nearest airport, and we're going to do translated, and we're going to go ahead and get TAFs and METARs. We can see right now Reno, we've got observed winds calm. Okay, and our forecast here up to 10 o'clock, standard forecast, variable directions at 5. And then we look at from 10 o'clock in the morning out that at 8. Okay, so this is showing a little bit more positive results there for Reno. Reno's a little bit lower and usually has nicer winds than Carson. And we can see here 20 Zulu to 23. Okay, now they're talking about 18 to 31. So they're talking about it really coming up in the afternoon here. So again, just another resource here to let us know that we might be able to squeak it out here low at the airport doing patterns for the CFI and the strike. There's the weather, and we shall see how it goes. Okay, we've gone through this weather prediction, and the question is, what happened? So we're going to look at weather to fly. So what is weather to fly? It is basically, we do our information resources preparation, which we've done. We get to the local site and look at the clouds, terrain, wind, and gusts. When I got down to the airport, there were lenticular clouds, which means high winds above. The wind was calm. So we decided to go flying. We made the decision of whether to fly. So we flew around the pattern for about an hour and a half, and it was nice and calm. I had a couple of other students who wanted to take off and fly up to Lake Tahoe. So we gave it a try. We took off. This was about 9 o'clock. We took off. We climbed up to about 7,000 feet here. At the same time, there were some other aircraft coming back from Tahoe, and they reported the wind was just starting to hit the water here at Tahoe, starting to get choppy, pretty choppy over the pass. We started to hit some pretty bad turbulence here at 7,000. So we aborted going up to Tahoe, and we flew down here nice and low. Came back. The next student, which was at 10 o'clock, we took off. We started to hit, climbed up here. Now we were hitting the turbulence, say, at 6,000 feet. So again, we flew down around here, came back, and just about as we're coming back, around 11 o'clock, the wind started to come in here. So we basically were able to squeak underneath the higher winds, which finally came down to the surface here at around 10, 11 o'clock. So what we predicted ended up coming true, and we were able to squeak under the higher winds that eventually came down. And here we have a complete weather fly system where we looked at our information. We went to the site and we observed the calm winds and the high lenticular clouds above. We decided whether to fly, which we did. We completed the flight, and we completed the analysis for the weather to fly system.